Hello and welcome back to my channel. You are watching my Becca's Bookoplathon vlog. A weekender rather than a weekly vlog. A vlog I was not expecting to do. I thought I'd just amalgamate it into two other vlogs. But then I put it onto Twitter, what you wanted, and of course, you wanted me to do more work. That's fine, I get that. You know what Becca's Bookoplathon is. I'm not even going to waste time pretending that you've not heard of it. But I have printed out my resources. I am going to do a reading spread, but I'm going to do it at the end of the whole thing, last thing on Sunday, because for me, it's one thing choosing books for a prompt. It's another thing like having an actual spread for it. I love my reading journals to just look really neat, and I very much have, I don't know what that was me just shaking out my sleeve. I very much have like a messy notebook and a neat notebook, and the neat notebook stays. The messy notebook, once it's done, I've been it, I don't need it anymore. So I will be doing messy stuff all day, keeping notes and stuff, like key quotes, page trackers, things like that, and then I will put it into my reading vlog at the end, which is when I will cut out and stick these in, and I will do my best to try and include that in this vlog, but I might just show it to you at the end once it's all done. So the first prompts you'll know are a dark cover and a fantasy as two like separate prompts, but you can also amalgamate them into one. I decided 2-3 weeks ago when Becca's video went up that I was going to do Six of Crows as the first prompt, and now it's 10 o'clock on a Friday night and I think I've made a horrible mistake. I have only ever completed one weekend before. None of the books were over 300 pages. I'm exhausted just thinking about it. I had every intention of going to sleep at 8 and then just sleeping until like 5 to 12, waking up and then joining the thing then, but I can feel myself being tired already. I'm tired just at the thought, so I'm nervous. But I'm also really anticipating Six of Crows. I really enjoyed Ninth House. I thought Shadow of Bone was mediocre to the point of being a complete waste of my fucking time, but I'm told that Six of Crows is so much better and I'm so excited for it, and I kept being really tempted to just like abandon my TBRs during the week and picking this up instead. So I am really excited for it, but with anticipation comes the potential to be completely let down. So there is that. Now, I can let myself down by just not finishing it, or it could just be shit. Who knows? But I do have a backup plan. And the other reason, basically, I'm just explaining to you, the other reason I do my reading journal at the end of a read-along, readathon, whatever it is that I end up putting in the reading journal, is because I want the capacity to be able to change my mind. So I do have backups, and of course graphic novels exist. So I have, for fantasy, The Witch Boy, and for a dark cover I have Mercy. Now I only heard about Mercy like 3 or 4 days ago, and then I was like, ooh, I can get it in through my distributor. So this was a gift from Carolyn, but this was a gift to me. Look how pretty it is. I know absolutely nothing about it other than I think she's a vampire. It's definitely vampire vibes. So I'm really excited by that. Plus it's by Image Comics, who are the same people who do the saga ones. And I also have a saga to read. So worst case scenario, we'll do graphic novels. Now, I also have a couple of books left over from the other reading vlogs that I have done, that I have started and not finished. So These Violent Delights, for example, If We Were Liars I have to hand, A Study in Charlotte, a whole bunch. There's potentially going to be a whole bunch of different books in this vlog, but starting with this one. So I'm going to give myself the first 8-ish hours, because obviously I do fully intend to sleep. If they're doing in like 12-hour chunks, I know that I need at least 8 hours sleep. So what I might do is the first 4 hours of something, or the last 4 hours, just sleep in that time. Oh god, I'm tired just thinking about it, but that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna try and stay up for at least the first 2 hours of the vlogs. I think that's the extent of, yeah. So Becca's going to be live from 12 till 4 a.m. There's absolutely no way I'm gonna be able to stay up that early, because I'm just a lazy bones. I like my sleep. So I'm gonna try and stay up for the first 2 hours. I'm gonna try and do till 2 a.m. But there is absolutely no guarantee. And then I'm going to sleep for 4 hours and then jump back on and kind of go like that. The other thing is obviously that with Becca doing the 48 hours and constantly having someone streaming, that's great. But if I stay rooted to my phone or my iPad or wherever it is I'm watching these live streams all goddamn day, I'm going to go insane. So I will be leaving the house, hopefully, or just stepping away from my computer or doing some exercise and stuff like that, because I spend my entire work day in front of a computer screen. The last thing I want is to watch 48 hours of streaming, but I am quite intrigued to see how it all pans out. And obviously will 100% be present for all of the drops. So I will catch up with you once I have started, once the readathon has officially started. Yeah, I'm gonna nap. I'm gonna nap in between that. But in the meantime, see you in a bit. 2 minutes to 12. My internet has dropped. I've been watching the countdown for about 20 minutes. And now nada. It's doing nothing. So I'm taking that as a sign to go to sleep. Okay, it's Saturday morning. It is a gorgeously sunny day, which makes it a perfect day to avoid everyone and stay inside, which is what I fully intend to do. Now, let's discuss last night. So I stayed up till midnight, didn't have the nap that I thought I should have, and I really should have. Stayed up till midnight. Just as Becca's live was about to start, my YouTube just cut out. And I don't know if it was my internet or if it was my laptop or whatever, but I sat there like clicking it for 10 minutes and I got nothing. And I was like, well, I was using my iPad just to keep myself awake really, and I was using my phone for the audiobook. So I was like, I don't... See, that's how you know that you're like middle class, is you have like all these different products and none of them actually work the way you want them to. Yeah, so annoyingly, that didn't work out. So about 20 past 12, I was like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm just going to sleep, and then I'll wake up and I'll start in the morning and I'll get up nice and early so that I can catch up on those hours that I clearly missed out on. Didn't. Woke up at 8:30, then went downstairs and had a feminist discussion with my mum about whether it is sexist to hold a door open or not. Okay, here's the context of that. There was a Facebook post that someone had shared on one of those like anti-feminist Facebook groups that try and pretend they're not anti-feminist. And it was like, if a man tries to open the door for you, it's inherently misogynistic. That's the patriarchy trying to control you, blah, blah, blah. And my mum and my aunt were both like, I think it's really nice manners when a man opens the door for you. Fine. You can never have nuance on social media. That just doesn't work. So it makes it really difficult to point out that there is a contextual difference between holding a door open for someone and opening a door open for someone and controlling that situation. For example, your boss is a man. He has a closed door policy. If you want to go into his office, you have to knock. He has two options then. He can either say enter to you and you can enter his room, and he's not opening the door for you, but he is controlling who comes in and out of his space. Or he can open the door for you and close the door behind you, in which case not only is he controlling the space that is his, he's controlling how you act in that space. You know, you might argue that actually that's completely acceptable. It's his office, he can do that. What about the boyfriend that you have that insists on opening the car door for you? Not just in like oh, this is a nice chivalry thing, but you've been dating for like 3 years and you have to wait by the side of the car so that he can open the door for you. Like, it's things like that. There is nuance to it. Now, I'm not saying that everyone or every man does that, and I'm not saying it's not polite that if you see a little old lady or just a person walking towards a door that you already have open, to hold the door open for them. But on social media, nuance doesn't exist. So I ended up having like a discussion with my mother, which then took another hour of my time. So what I'm saying is, it's the patriarchy's fault that I'm running late. That wasn't what I was saying at all, but I feel like I've narrowly missed the bullet there. So I am 70 pages into Six of Crows, because I did manage to catch up a little bit this morning. And like I said, I did listen to it a bit last night, but just not alongside the live stream. So that made me sad. But there are more live streams, so I'm sure I will catch up again later. And I'm just waiting now to see what the next 2 drops are. Because if I can squeeze in a graphic novel or a short story, and then come back to Six of Crows, then at least I've got the rest of the day to do that. I'm not worried because I've still got like tomorrow as well to catch up, and I only have like 6 hours on the audiobook left, so I'm not worried. As far as my thoughts on Six of Crows, it's fine. I know that a lot of people have told me that the beginning is really slow. That's fine. I like that we're being introduced to all these individual characters and we're getting their perspective. I do like Inej, so that helps. I'm intrigued to see from Nina's perspective because I've just come to her chapter, and I do like that she is plus size rep, so that's great. Keris from Library of Keris very much made that a point that as a plus size character she's good rep, so I'm quite excited to see how she's portrayed. But what I'm going to do right now is go downstairs and have some pastries and a nice big cup of tea, and try to become a bit more sentient, because I should have known better than to argue with my mum about feminism, because she and I have very differing opinions on the subject. I'll see you in a couple of hours when I've heard the next drop, and then I'll let you know what books I have chosen for that.
Comme un indien dans son igloo, ça plane pour moi, ça plane pour moi, ça plane pour moi, ça plane pour moi, ça plane pour moi.
Do two truths or a lie.
Sorry?
Do two truths or a lie, and then see if I can get them right.
Oh, I don't, what, I've got to come up with something about me.
Yeah, 3 things. 2 truths and a lie.
Okay. I've been naked swimming in the beach, in the sea.
Mm-hmm.
I was in...
You know this is going on the internet, don't you?
You didn't tell me that.
Well, it says there that it's recording. Why else would I hold my phone up here?
Oh, I did wonder.
Why are you talking about nudity on the internet?
I don't know, you started it.
I asked for 2 truths and a lie. It didn't say, hey mum, where was the last place you got naked?
Well, it's the lie. I didn't.
You've definitely skinny dipped.
I have not ever skinny dipped. Never.
Oh, you've never lived. Okay, so we've just had the second prompts dropped, which were POC rep and contemporary. So just to let you know that I'm going to try and finish Me, My Dad, and the End of the Rainbow, which was gifted to me by Jamie. This is author of colour, people of colour rep, and a contemporary, and LGBTQ rep as well, which is just a little bonus. So thank you, Jamie, for gifting this to me. It's a middle grade, so I should be able to get through this quite quickly, and then once I have done that, I will crack back on with Six of Crows. I have not read any more of Six of Crows in the last 2 hours that it has been, mainly because I wanted to know what the next prompts were going to be before I really committed, and I keep getting distracted by hanging out with my family. I mean, who does that? But what I did do was another 60 pages of this poetry collection, which I started back in Feb and then just never got round to. So this has been like my little in-betweeny one as well. So that's The Great Goddesses by Nikita Gill. I really like those because they are modern adaptations of the Greek tellings, but because they're still written in poetry, they feel like legends, even if they're not. So really, really enjoying that. So there you go, 3 books on the go. Can she finish any of them? Okay, it's Sunday morning and I actually don't look too bad for it. I don't think. I think I look a little sleepy. I do feel a little sleepy. Stayed up quite late. I decided that I was going to stay up for the roll drop, but I actually didn't stay up to watch the live because I can't do it. I can't do lives past midnight. I'm an old lady now and I just can't do it. So what I'm going to do is I did, on the Discord, people were letting me know what the prompts were. So I know that it's Chance and it's the first of a series, which I didn't have any chance cards prepped, which was silly because I really should have, but also I don't want to do number generator, so I'm just going to do a cat pick because I've never done a cat pick and I've got 2 cats. So let's do a cat pick. The other thing I want to say is I have got like an hour left of Six of Crows. So I will just do a quick wrap up. I'm really enjoying it. So I kind of don't want it to end, but I can see what everyone's saying about it having a really slow beginning and it takes you a while to warm up. I think a lot of that is the fact that you have to actually get to like the characters before you can like really bed into the story. I do really like the characters. I think the relationship between Nina and Inej is perfection, and it's just fantastic. Weirdly, Kaz Brecker, who I went in being like, I'm gonna love him, he's gonna be fantastic, he's fine. I get that he has his shit going on and we all like a broken bad boy. I get that. I think he's fucking rude to Inej. But again, I get that it's distancing behaviour. I'm just not as fussed by him as I thought I'd be. Which is weird because I think when I read A Court of Thorns and Roses and I met Rhys Sand and everyone was like, oh, you'll hate him in book 1 and you'll love him in book 2. And in book 1 I was just like, see what game you're playing, see what you're doing there, and like again because it was part of the hype, so I kind of just got used to it. But then in the second book I was just like, okay, I don't love you, but like, and then at the end I was like, oh, I do, you're so precious, baby. Well, you know, whereas with this I'm assuming I'm gonna feel the same way. Kaz has just gone through a whole bunch of shit, so I do feel a lot more sorry for him now than I did at the beginning. And I get that he's got all his trauma and stuff like that. I think that's really well portrayed. I'm getting cramp in my arm. So, like I said, I've got an hour left of my audiobook. And the reason I've woken up earlier, I know it says only like 7 o'clock, but that is early for a Sunday for me. The reason I've woken up earlier is because I really want to finish this before I have D&D, because I have 2 hours of D&D later where I DM, and my brother has introduced me to this monster that is like a couple of levels above my players, but they keep killing my monsters really easily. So I want to give them something they can literally sink their teeth into. And that is a pun. It's an unintentional pun, but it is a pun, because it's vampire spawn. So it's going to be really intriguing. But anyway, I'm going to go do the cat thing and see what she says. Okay, I'll be honest. I have no idea how well this is going to work because, quite frankly, she would kill for some dreamies. So it might be that the first one I put down is the one that she goes for. But what I've done is I've got 9 series that I've not yet started or that I need to reread or whatever. And we're going to see which one she picks. And I think that will count as chance because honestly, she's the most temperamental little bitch. And I love her so much. Yes, I do. I love her so much. Even when she claws into my finger, which really fucking hurts. Okay, so whilst she's distracted. Now, chances are she won't move at all because that would involve coming towards me. But I'll just sit here and we'll see what she decides. You gonna do it? Okay, Traitor's Blade it is. I'm pretty sure that's just because it was the easiest one to get to. As opposed to this one, which she's made more difficult for herself. But I'm just waiting for her to realise there's loads of treats out now. Look how content she is now that she's had loads of biscuits. Hey, look how content she is. Beautiful. You look so angry. Look how angry you look. Why won't you show the internet that you can be loving and that you were purring at me not 5 minutes ago? So scientists proved that baby cats will purr to get attention from their mum and just to let everyone know that everything's okay, whereas adult cats will purr just to remind you that you're doing a good job and to keep doing what you're doing. And Panda so rarely purrs that she's very much the latter. She's very much a, okay, you win this round kind of purrer. You know what I'm saying? I love you though. You're so pretty. Okay, I'll leave you alone now. Okay, Kat has chosen Traitor's Blade for me. Thankfully, I do have this as an audiobook as well. I know absolutely nothing about it. I have just finished reading Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castell and thought that that was fine. So I'm hoping that this is better than fine, because I think this is an adult fantasy rather than a YA fantasy. So we will see, and I will catch you up in a bit.
Allez hop, la nana, quel panard, quelle vibration de s'envoyer sur paillasson, limé, ruiné, vidé, comblé. You are the king of the divan, qu'elle me dit en passant. I am the king of the divan. Ça plane pour moi. Ça plane pour moi. Ça plane pour moi. Moi. Ça plane pour moi. Ça plane pour moi.
So, okay, it's 7 o'clock in the evening. I had so many plans to do things today alongside reading, and none of them happened. So I had D&D. D&D should have been about 2 hours long, and ended up being 5 hours. But now I have a buddy read for April, so I'm very excited about that. Don't know where I've put it, but anyway, my friends and I from my D&D group are going to be buddy reading Law, so that's really exciting. Let's talk about my books. So I haven't read any more of Me, My Dad and the End of the Rainbow. I just haven't. No reason. I'm not liking it. I just wanted to try and get to the Sebastian de Castell one. So I don't like it. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't care, and I kind of feel like it's the same as with Spellslinger, where it's just really mediocre. So because of that, I just don't care, and I'm doing it as an audiobook, so I probably will finish it, but I've kind of lost it now. I was really hyped for the beginning of the readathon, and now towards the end, because I'm tired and I've got work tomorrow and stuff like that, I'm just losing the will. So yes, I won't finish it. It's not going to happen, but I'm seriously considering DNFing. Like, seriously considering. The other one I wanted to pick, because obviously the last two prompts were other, so something that you don't read normally and something set in the present. So I've gone with the History Boys. Now I don't know if the History Boys is technically the present, because it was like written in the 90s, I think. Oh, 2004, so it's only like 15 years old. That's fine. So that's the one that I'm going for, because it's a nice short read, and I did tell myself I would read more plays this month. So I've never read The History Boys. I've heard really good things. I've heard it's a really great play, and obviously the film has James Corden in it, Dominic Cooper, the rest of them. I don't know who any of those other people are. I know that he's in How to Be Human or Being Human and Sherlock and a bunch of others, but it's mainly those two, isn't it? It's mainly those two that we recognise. So yeah, it's just going to be a short read. I do have a whole box of short reads, so whenever I'm like, oh, I'm really far behind on my TBR, we dig into the box. So I might dig into the box and just try and cram as many in as I can before tomorrow, because tomorrow I start recording yet another vlog, because I'm reading Molly's picks, but I also really need to read the Skullduggery, because the live is in like 2 weeks, so I've still got time. It's only, like I said, it's only 7, so I have still got time to get some reading done, but I can't be arsed. I just can't be arsed. I don't want to read anymore. I don't mind listening to an audiobook, but I'm kind of in the mood to watch a film. And it was fine yesterday, because yesterday I took a supernatural break. So in the evening, I was like, I'm ready to read again. And D&D was like from like 10 until like 3. So then I read some after that. But I haven't really had a break this evening in general, so I might have a break. I'm asking, like, or making the suggestion, like, you're going to have some say in it. You don't have a say in it. I'll either read or I don't. But I just want to finish something else. I got really proud of myself when I finally finished Six of Crows, and I did really enjoy that. It's kind of going like that, because I just haven't finished anything since. So let's see how I feel once I've had a quick read. And I guess I'll get back to you then. Okay, I'm going to call this video here basically and just do a quick wrap up of all the books that I read and didn't read for Bookoplathon. So I just finished The History Boys. I forgot that one of the teachers sexually assaults the students. So that was fun. It's not so bad that it's like a triggering thing, but the way the boys discuss it is just so blasé, and it just, a lot of the stuff in this just really frustrated me. So I'm sure if I read it and was like studying it and like digging deep into the language, like I'd like, it'd be a really interesting read. But for something that I was just like, oh, it's just a quick read, 2 stars. So really struggle with this one in general. So there's that one. Obviously I told you that I finished Six of Crows. This was definitely my favourite, and then I haven't read any more of either of these because I just couldn't bring myself to do it. In the end, what I did was prepped myself for tomorrow by starting these 2 and did 20 minutes each of those. You'll find out all about how I feel and how excited I am in general for my TBR in next week's vlog, but other than that, I think we're just going to leave this here. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me know what books you read for Bookoplathon, or what you did this weekend if you didn't do Bookoplathon. Most of the books that I've read this weekend are available through Waypoint, so if you want to support me and my content, the link will be down below. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time. Have a nice day.